Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching Big Ed and Liz on 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life. Let's watch.
Burn. Anyways, thank you for that. I don't know how to ask you this. It's just so crazy. But can I kiss you?
All right. So again, I know what happens in the future when they have that infamous phone call that was recorded and posted on various different websites. So it's hard to watch this scene with any kind of joy or enthusiasm for this couple. Who knows? But if we're going to use this show as a jumping off point, we saw the way that he approached to kiss her the first time, in which he literally just grabbed her head and just slammed into her face, and she had to suddenly, pull back, and that's when he kissed her nose. And she didn't like that, and it set them back a while. Now he's doing it in a different way. He is far away. He's not grabbing her head. He's saying, I don't know how to ask this, but I would like to kiss you. It stands to reason. She has said that she likes him. She has said that he is boyfriend material. So seems like all the precursors are there for such a kiss to happen. And so he is asking and giving her a chance to say no. She doesn't have to pull away. It's not likely to traumatize her. So, that it's a better way to approach these kinds of things to make sure that you don't hurt someone or scare someone or push someone away.
Don't make it weird.
I won't.
So we remember the Halik moment with Rose, and I wonder if they are on the same trajectory of jealousy and him apologizing, and jealousy and him apologizing, and him making mistakes and him apologizing, and then they have some huge blow up, and then they break up. I don't know why I'm thinking about that right now in this moment, but that's what's coming to mind.
I'll be heartbroken. Sweet dreams. One more kiss. I love you.
Mm-hmm. Too soon for that.
I'm just kidding. Good night. Good night.
I love you, just kidding. Okay. Is he just kidding? Or is he just saying he's just kidding because he feels bad and he doesn't want to pressure her? That's my guess. I don't know.
She's a giver.
Did you guys have sex?
Okay, so yeah, I mean we made love all night.
All right, well, I guess that clears up Liz's intentions. I wondered in the beginning if she was really into him or not, but she has been saying that she was, and so sounds like they're a couple now. We know what eventually happens in the phone call that I reacted to, the one that was posted on various different websites. And do they last beyond that phone call? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I think we're gonna look like a couple. Mm-hmm. I would like to introduce you as my girlfriend at the wedding. And so will you be my girlfriend?
So regardless of what we think of Ed, this is a good move. Instead of just introducing her as his girlfriend, he is asking, is it okay? And we've seen people on the show that will not ask before doing things. So, it's a good pro-social move.
Just at the wedding. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm renting you for the...
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'll
really?
be your girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend. I'm feeling like a giddy little princess. Other than Rose, I've not had a girlfriend in 29 years.
Well, that's interesting. He hasn't had a romantic relationship of significance other than Rose in 29 years. I think the 29 years ago was his marriage, I believe, to the mom of his daughter. That's interesting. I wonder how that plays into his issues. Not only inexperience, but also with, not inexperience, but inexperience with how to navigate your insecurities in a relationship. But also, was it so bad for him in the past that he just avoided relationships altogether? I don't know. Or has he caused issues in the beginning of dating relationships such that people didn't want to continue beyond that to be a relationship of significance? Who knows?
Tiffany is 31 years old and Liz is 28. And Tiffany has a problem with me dating younger women. And that was her biggest concern with Rose.
I mean, I can't support it. I mean, there's such a huge age gap there that they don't have very much in common.
So I've said this many times, and I'll say it again very briefly. I won't go into all the details, but we have a stigma around people dating people that there's an age difference. I did a whole deep dive on age differences in relationships, age difference in relationships. You can listen to that. I did it about a year or so ago, and I lay out all the research regarding age differences in relationships. And the conclusion that I will summarize for you is that science has demonstrated there's really nothing wrong with age differences in relationships. There's a slightly higher likelihood of getting divorced, but something like 50% of marriages end in divorce in the United States anyway. So it's not like looking towards a stat like divorce likelihood is something to stigmatize something for, right? Now, I understand why we do this is because we don't want 13-year-olds dating 23-year-olds. And in those situations, exploitation is happening in all likelihood, or if not always. But a 28-year-old with a 55-year-old, we don't necessarily know if exploitation is happening. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And also, two 28-year-olds can exploit each other, or one can exploit the other, or a 28-year-old can exploit a 55-year-old. Now, culturally speaking, it feels icky to us because we're like, ooh, that's weird. I don't normally do that. But that doesn't necessarily mean, just because you're having a gut feeling of like, ooh, I don't feel comfortable with this, that doesn't necessarily mean it's pathological. Hey, deserving listeners, as y'all know, I am constantly recommending that people go to therapy. We all need therapy from time to time. Well, one of the options available that is definitely worth checking out is BetterHelp. If you're looking for a therapist, I would give it a try by going to betterhelp.com/Kirk. Make sure you use the promo code Kirk because you get 10% off your first month, and it really helps us out. As you watch these videos, I know many of you have been motivated to find your own therapist, which is great because you deserve it. And I know also that it can be hard to find a good fit, find the right one for you. Well, one of the options available in terms of your shopping is to go to betterhelp.com/Kirk. I've been told you can start communicating with your therapist in under 24 hours. You can message your counselor at any time. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. I've also been told that it's often less expensive than in-person therapy, and you should know that this service is available to clients worldwide. So go to betterhelp.com/Kirk to get 10% off your first month today.
What did you see in my dad? I mean, did you really love him? Because he was willing to give me up.
Yes, I really love your dad.
Don't get a tone with me.
I almost lost my daughter over Rose, and I don't want to go through that again.
And I don't know all the background with his daughter and him during the last season, but if I understand the situation right, the daughter, Tiffany, was very much against her father dating someone Rose's age and gave him an ultimatum, basically said, look, it's either her or it's me. I don't know if that's exactly fair. I could imagine a daughter being concerned of like, I don't know if you're exactly compatible with that person. But there's all sorts of ideas like this. If you know, I know clients and I know people in my personal life where people will say, you and her or you and him, like that is not going to work. And then it works. I mean, love is strange. We just don't really know what's going to work. And you don't know how people are going to be compatible. And just looking at an age difference doesn't really say much. Certainly, there are a lot of couples where everything is in alignment. They're the same age. They have the same sense of humor. They have the same goals in life, and it doesn't work out. You know, love is strange.
Starting to tense up.
I know. You gotta relax. You two are the same. Tiffany,
Not that that's not a bad thing to hear from you, but it is a little bit weird.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's not the thing you want to say to your girlfriend who is 1 year younger than your daughter. You guys are the same. Huh? Now, my hypothesis, and this is complete speculation that I said in a previous episode, but we can keep this in mind as we watch this, that for Ed, he had the early relationships in his life when he was in his teens and his early 20s, and those did not go very well. and he felt rejected. And so he just gave up on relationships altogether. He was single for 28 years. And then he decided, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to start dating. Or he met Rose, who is also very young. And, oh no, sorry, backing up. So he is single and he's raising his daughter. And maybe for one of the very first times, he's having a really loving relationship, a close relationship that is secure with his own daughter, which would be a wonderful thing for him and his daughter, right? And as he's raising his daughter, he is realizing, with romance, I'm not so great. But with being a father, I'm better, and I can actually trust this sort of relationship better than I can trust the sort of relationships I was pursuing in the past. Not that he is incestuous with his daughter, but that he is just learning how he can relate and learning what kind of relationships work for him. Then he raises his daughter and he feels good about his ability to be a father. Who knows? And then he starts to date again and he thinks, well, maybe I shouldn't date the way I used to. Maybe this is conscious, maybe it's unconscious. Maybe if I meet someone younger, although it's not like I'm dating my daughter, but I'm dating someone of that age because I seem to have gotten along really well with my daughter. Maybe I'm better with someone younger than me. And maybe if I tried that, it would work out for me because I am dead positive that if I date someone my own age, it definitely will not work out because of what happened in the past. And if I took care of my daughter, I was useful as a father to my daughter. When my daughter needed something, I would help her. When she needed money, I would give her money. When she needed some support, I would give her support. And I was useful to my daughter. And maybe that's why my daughter loved me. It's because I was useful to her. And maybe if I find someone that I can be useful to, someone younger, someone more needy, and I maybe even make them that way, then maybe I can attain some secure attachment. I don't know. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it, and take care of others because we all deserve it. We really, really do.